Hello, yogis. Happy to see all your faces. Not much going on in the world right now, so very calm night. Sorry. We have to laugh a little bit, as Wavy Gravy said. Otherwise, it's not funny. Anyway, really happy to be with you tonight. Happy to have a chance to be quiet together, grieve together, kind of bring our traumatized hearts and minds and caring and bring it all back into our bodies. Remember that timeless truth of our nature, the substratum of everything that's quiet and complete, even in the midst of all this sorrow, stress. Peace is, if only everyone knew, peace is only a split second, a half breath away. Peace is possible in every moment. We can know that individually, but why we shout it, why we're activists, is because it needs to be shared. Others need to know. In the meantime, I'm sure most of you have been inundated. I have been inundated with concern, caring, heartbreak, outrage, fear, anger. So I can't think of anything more healing than to bring it all home into just the simple unfolding of the present moment, where there are really just six things happening. And this is never this return to the simplicity, this return to the six things: seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, is not a denial of the complexities of our world. It's just a balancing antidote, a balancing support to give us the resilience to be able to respond in the most skillful and loving way that we can, and to kind of fortify ourselves for the long slog of dealing with humanity in our present state. This is nothing new. So let's just sit together. And that does require at least the intention to release ideas of the past and ideas of the future, and just see what remains in the living present. And I'm going to honor a request from our dear Madison to hit a gong to begin our sitting. Here it comes. Madison. See, by the time we get to three gongs, our system is a little bit more oriented to real time. It calls us here. calls us to the only reality, which is this body and its senses. Let your eyes close softly and connect with the ever-present, ever-available wakefulness and clarity, what Suzuki Roshi calls the ultimate fact that you are aware here. And how effortlessly, when we are aware here, we feel our sitting body. This is the world, the direct experience of the world for us right now. It's hard to reconcile that we can sit so comfortably, safely, but here we are, and the world needs us to be peaceful, strong. So be aware of the sitting body and let the idea of it give way to the experience of sensations. And let the sensations call your attention closer to a single point. Just feeling the aliveness, the vibration, the pulsing. Hearing the sound of silence or the distant sounds or the sounds in your room, sound of my voice. Notice the body falling into a gentle stillness. Which makes it more obvious when we breathe. Makes it more obvious because our body gently expands and contracts with each in-breath and out-breath. The breath impacts our body. Breath by breath. I feel that experience. Knowing that just feeling our breath, feeling our body, is supporting us to empty our mind of its preoccupations, to fill it with the full sense of embodied awareness. Just this breath, just this moment. Sitting right in the middle of life, right where it touches us. Using those sensations that arise when our body breathes as an anchor for our attention, an anchor to this living present, which is so different than past and future, which are mental. So feeling life, just this breath. hearing life when sounds become stronger, feeling life when other sensations call our attention, feeling life when moods roll through our mind and body, noticing the inner life, the thoughts and images, everything welcome, but everything rooted in embodied awareness and presence, just this moment. Attitude of welcoming, of making space for whatever arises, maybe sadness, fear, grief, or calm, everything equal in the light of awareness. When you realize you've been lost in thought, drifting, fantasizing, remembering, planning, use that as an opportunity to settle back into your body, into your heart. Let it remind you of your love of being embodied. No judgment, just coming home to the heart, mind, body, all together, just this moment. looking out for the attitude that we're practicing with. Are we trying to make something happen? This is a kind of greed in the mind, grasping will create tension. Are we resisting, struggling? This is aversion in the mind. Just want to notice that. And let it be the cause of relaxation and ease, letting go. And remembering that every moment is a new beginning. Let go of time, past, future, present. Just notice what's here now. Every moment is a new beginning. When you hear the sound of the gong, just be aware of hearing. Let the sound arise and fade. When you're ready to open your eyes, be aware of opening your eyes, be aware of seeing, outer sight, and be aware of any other movements that you make so that the practice continues. Perhaps even before you make movements, just take in the internal weather. It's the state of your heart, the state of your mind, just as it is. And then move whenever you see fit. Really nice to be back sitting with all of you, and I just thought that it would be good medicine right now to hear us say good evening to each other. And feel free to unmute and say good evening when you feel ready. And you can feel free to say where you're calling in from if you like. Good evening.
Hi, from San Francisco.
Who was that?
Hi from Berkeley.
Is that Annalisa?
Yes.
How did I know that?
Hi from Los Angeles, Debbie.
There's Los Angeles.
Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Noemi from Mission.
Hello, Noemi.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
Happy belated birthday.
Yes.
Thank you. Don't remind me. Have to say that 70 is a weird number. I know there are people in here who understand that. But anyway, anyone else? Feel free.
Mary from Santa Barbara.
Hey,
Hi.
Mary. Hi, Mary.
Welcome home. Happy
Thank
birthday.
you. Thank you.
Maryland.
Hi, Donna from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada.
Hey, Donna. Really happy to have you with us.
Howie Gelman from 74. So
Whoa. Makes me feel young.
it's great being with you kids, you know.
Howie, thanks for holding down the fort tonight. For being our co-host. We got the Howie and Howie. But Mary is lurking in the background, holding us with her steady wisdom. And
Hi from Jackson Hole, Dan.
hey, Dan, good to see you.
Hey, Howie.
Hello, Daryl from Lafayette.
Hello, Daryl.
Hi, Howie. It's Mark from San
Hey,
Francisco.
Mark.
Madison from San Francisco. Thank you for the initial bell.
You're welcome. Oh,
This is Miriam from Scottsdale.
hi, Miriam. Glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
Karen from Vancouver.
Hey, Karen. Good to see you.
Melinda and Buster from San Francisco.
Hey, Buster. Hey, Melinda. Karen, I'm going to be in your neighborhood in your neighborhood in Victoria on the 9th of November. Weekend retreat.
Nice.
Come on down.
Quite a bit of water between Vancouver and Victoria.
Easy ferry ride.
Yeah, when they work.
Oh. Anyway, really happy to be with you in this very, very sad time. But, it seems to be a repeated theme, in spite of this being so in some ways earth shaking. This Israeli Hamas war. It's I find myself repeating in my own mind that this is just another reason that it's so important to have the medicine of the Dharma at a time where any caring person is just heartbroken, heartsick, kind of flooded, overwhelmed, almost to the point of numbness. It's just the pain is so, in some ways, unbearable, and we're really in some ways bearing witness. We're not even in the middle of it, and yet it's so overwhelming. But there are so many things like that in our world. But this is such a reminder of the essence of the teachings. The thing that's coming to mind now is that basically the first line of the Dhammapada: and hatred never ceases by hatred, only by love does hatred cease. This is the law eternal. Hatred does not cease by hatred. And I was reading today a line from Gandhi, who said something to the effect of an eye for an eye only makes the world more blind. And it's just, and MLK, I brought along a quote where he said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." So he clearly read the Dhammapada, or just had the natural wisdom to know that there's just nothing is ever solved by violence. And it just, that cycle of violence. I know I've read so many times on Tuesday night the words of Sam Keen, which I brought along tonight. And it's really about the cycle of this endless samsara of violence in our world that he posits is perpetuated by our inability to feel grief, our inability to grieve our losses, to really, how I might phrase that is to drop down and feel. When we teach the teachings on moods and emotions, we always I like to remind everybody, we're great at thinking about what we feel, but we're not good at feeling. But if you feel into hurt and pain, the grief tenderizes us. But the habit of projecting, of getting angry, of the poisons that move in our consciousness, when they get projected, the poisons of greed, hatred, and delusion, when they get projected, it just perpetuates a cycle of violence. We find someone to blame, and you can see it just playing out. Those little forces in our mind of grasping and condemning and personalizing and confusion and uncertainty, and how it just foments, how it proliferates into views and opinions and outrage and grudges and wars. And so Sam Keen said to lessen the quantity of cruelty and sadism, which you see here. To lessen the quantity of cruelty and sadism, we must learn to listen to the cry beneath violence. The victor must hear himself in the victim's cry. The winner feel himself in the humiliation of the loser. So long as we can visit pain upon another, we need not feel our own pain. Anger lifts depression. For a time, purging our rage on a scapegoat relieves us of the feeling. But the need for the cleansing of the unacceptable feelings builds up, and we must plunge into a new circle of violence. The only certain way out of the blind ritual of war is by learning to substitute grief for anger. Those who mourn the childhood love they never had, who treat their own wounds tenderly, learn to forgive and to break the vicious cycle of the wounded and the wounding. When we're unable to confess that our own parents, our own governments, our own styles of life have disappointed and injured us, we will inevitably create an enemy on whom we heap our anger. Every day we are not grieving is a day we will be taking vengeance. So obviously all these situations are complex, and there's no easy solution. But at least as Dharma students, we can somehow step out of the cycle ourselves, because it's so easy to be pulled into it, into who's right, who's wrong, and find someone we can blame. But to see that it's all driven by the forces of greed, hatred, and delusion. And the wisdom tells us that if greed, hatred, and delusion are the cause of stress, of suffering, of war, of everything that we see manifesting in a large scale, then removing the cause then you don't get the same result. Now, how do you remove the cause? It has to begin, as I say endlessly, it has to begin with our own hearts. We have to remove greed and hatred and ignorance out of our own hearts. And all of our practice is to uproot those forces. The whole of the Eightfold Path is about uprooting those underlying tendencies of greed and hatred and ignorance. Everything. And so it's not just a feel-good Tuesday night system. It's a system of ending war in our own way. And of course, just sitting is not enough. It's sitting enough that we are full and resilient enough to then go stop what needs to be stopped. I remember my mom really inspired me during the Vietnamese War. She took it upon herself to write 100 I think it was telegrams, or she wrote letters to every single senator. And in the letter it said, killing for peace is immoral. Of course, it's back to the same teaching of hatred never ceases by hatred, but killing for peace is immoral. And in her small way, she was a homemaker in Omaha, Nebraska, but she felt that passion, and she turned that passion into action. And our anxiety and worry, I think it gets absorbed by some kind of action. And our practice allows us to harness that caring. So wisdom tells us to uproot greed, hatred, and delusion. And love tells us that we have to cultivate loving kindness every which way. We have to choose empathy. We have to choose compassion. Many years ago, somebody shared with me the words from the Samyutta Nikaya from the Buddha, who said, "Therefore you must train yourselves thus. We will develop and cultivate the liberation of mind by love. Make it our vehicle, make it our basis, stabilize it, steady and consolidate it, exercise ourselves in it, and fully perfect it. Thus should you train yourselves." That's from, we will develop and cultivate the liberation of mind by love. And then the commitment to both inner and outer nonviolence. From the words of Snick, they remember the student nonviolent coordinating committee from 1960. We affirm the philosophical or religious ideal of nonviolence as the foundation of our purpose, the manner of our action. Nonviolence, as it grows from Judeo-Christian tradition, seeks a social order of justice permeated by love. Through nonviolence, courage displaces fear, love transforms hate, acceptance dissipates prejudice, peace dominates war, faith reconciles doubt, mutual regard cancels enmity, justice overthrows injustice. The redemptive community supersedes systems of gross social immorality. Love is the central motif of nonviolence. Such love goes to the extreme. It remains loving and forgiving even in the midst of hostility. Again, I'll read from the Buddha. Therefore, you should train yourself thus. We will develop and cultivate the liberation of mind by love. Make it our vehicle, make it our basis, stabilize it, steady and consolidate it, exercise ourselves in it, and fully perfect it. Thus should you train yourselves. So, I don't, I have my readings and things that help me, and the quiet, just quieting the heart and letting myself grieve and all the things I've said. But I don't really, I'm just experiencing, I'm just swimming in this with everyone. I don't really have any authority. I have I have all the, I've got the Dharma flame burning in me, but I also have the Jewish identity. My family were essentially refugees from pogroms, from things like what happened in Israel. But then there's I have, my heart is so broken for the completely innocent Palestinian people who are caught up in this madness, because there are so many within their ranks that are driven by hatred as their motif of action. So I really don't have anything that wise to say, but I am in touch with the anything that I'm looking for the word, anything that moves away from love, anything that moves in the direction of greed, hatred, and ignorance, it just makes the world a really painful place. And anything that moves toward love, reconciliation, justice, brings harmony, brings more harmony. As the 27 verses on the mind training in the Tibetan tradition says, so sensitive an ecology is the interdependence of all, that the slightest attention and assistance to others creates moral elevation for ourselves and humanity. So that's our part. While the slightest indifference or neglect toward others creates moral harm for ourselves and our civilization, the faintest spark of ill will toward other beings can burst forth into a terrible forest fire, consuming vast expanses of sympathetic joy. Even the faintest negative reaction or malicious wish opens wide channels throughout our entire being for life-destroying poisons of negation and life-obscuring shadows of self-cherishing. Cast far away from all precious humanity, these lethal doses, these ominous shadows, by cultivating instinctive admiration and love for those who practice the way of selflessness. Adore such bodhisattvas for their irreversible vow to remain intimate with the struggle of living beings as beacons of love, as the light of panoramic vision. From Lincoln's, if you don't mind me just reading a few things. I'm not sure what I can add of my own thoughts, but these things resonated with me. We are not enemies, but friends. We must not be enemies. Though passion may have strained, it must not break our bonds of affection. The mystic chords of memory will yet swell when again touched, as surely they will be by the better angels of our nature. That's from Lincoln's first inaugural address. We are not enemies, but friends. We must not be enemies. Though passion may have strained, it must not break our bonds of affection. The mystic chords of memory will yet swell when again touched, as surely they will be by the better angels of our nature. A few other things that really touched me that I thought would be important to have in the field, in the atmosphere, were words of Pema Chodron from her book, Practicing Peace at Times of War. She said, if we want there to be peace in the world, we have to be brave enough to soften what is rigid in our hearts, to find the soft spot and stay with it. We have to have that kind of courage and take that kind of responsibility. That's the true practice of peace. And that's in that spirit, I think, beautiful expression from Diane Ackerman. She says, I swear I will not dishonor my soul with hatred, but offer myself humbly as a guardian of nature, as a healer of misery, as a messenger of wonder, as an architect of peace. So, how are you doing with that? Just being reminded of this inclination of the heart toward love. It's at least medicine for me right now. and commitment to uproot the forces of greed and hatred and delusion from the heart. Love to hear from you. Any comments, questions? Insights? Let's have at it. If you wish, using the raised hand function. Mary, please.
Yeah, Howie, I really appreciate your talk. It really hit the right spot with me because, I just have been feeling a lot of grief and sadness. I really have been. It's just an overall for the world sort of, just so just that it's so permeating, everything. And then I feel like, you hit that sort of sweet spot in what you said, because it's not a situation that has easy answers. I hope greater minds than mine are helping to do something. But, and we all can do something in our own way, certainly, and be humbled by this, I think, too, rather than angry. And so I felt like you really just said just the right thing. And I
Thank you.
appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please. Is that
Brenda,
Brenda? That's right.
you're a token one Palestinian that shows up every now and then when I could
so,
carve out the time. And I know I
I'm
wanted to talk to you.
I'm so happy that you're here.
2014, when I spoke up in Mission Dharma, and not one of the people except Nome came up to me and said something. No one looked in my face. They avoided me. In your Dharma, when I spoke up, and you thanked me for speaking up. Unfortunately, my people are being slaughtered and massacred, and I have sympathy for the Israelis that were too. Okay, I'm sorry. My family's home and property was taken and became refugees 75 years ago. I'm watching this happen again. Okay, I came in when you started talking about the terrorists. Okay, because there's a lot of organizing right now. So I'm sorry I didn't get to meditate with everyone. I'm not as calm and relaxed. I probably didn't go to Ivy League schools and universities because my family became broke and became refugees. Okay?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm fitting into the stereotype that every Zionist wants. I'm an unmeditated, unprivileged, not as sophisticated as most of the white privilege in this group may be. And I'd like to know, what is anyone going to do? Do you want to continue to feed into the lies like this started October 7th? No, this did not start October 7th.
Of course not.
Okay? I don't agree with what Hamas did, yet what are you going to do when you have a right-wing Zionist government who's been taking out Palestinians one a day for years, minimum? That's not reported on.
Yeah.
Okay? And they're targeting civilians. They're targeting hospitals. They targeted journalists. 18 journalists have been killed. Okay? And they're not Cooper, whatever his name is.
Anderson Cooper.
Yes, they're Arab, Palestinian, Lebanese, Iraqi journalists. Okay? Where is our international, where is the international community? The truth is, the only people that can make a difference is if Biden did something, which involves all of us who are probably taxpayers. So our karma doesn't get worse than it already is from all the blood dripping off of our hands since the creation of this illegal country, similar to the apartheid illegal regime in Israel. Okay, so I'm going to say this because unfortunately, I didn't get to take private classes or go to all the meditations or whatever. I worked and I went to college over some years and I worked full time and I was not in the class privilege as probably a lot of people here. Okay, and I'm straightforward. I'm a straightforward person. And Howard, you said you wanted to talk to me. I tried to reach out since 2014 when 2,300 Palestinians were killed in Gaza. Okay, guess what? The West Bank doesn't have Hamas. They're still killing Palestinians in the West
Settlers.
Bank.
I know.
They are detaining Palestinians who live inside the illegal state of Israel. Okay? They are detaining Palestinians. This fake democracy, I will not curse. Okay, this fake democracy is yeah, it's part of the lie. Please wake up, my Jewish brothers and sisters. And if you're really blood relatives, you would be feeling the pain because they're using rhetoric, they're using the language of Holocaust to instigate this further and calling Palestinians Nazis. I have tons of resources. I have plenty I'd like to share. That's why I was actually trying to get a hold of you before class today. I'm also a single mother. I also work. I don't own my home. I don't own my apartment. So I don't have as much privilege and time and space. Okay, but I'd like for people here in this very sheltered, nice community that probably don't have access to a Palestinian perspective. And don't worry, I don't do interviews. You're not going to be hearing me talk. I would never put myself to speak.
Well, I
Okay?
appreciate you speaking up tonight, but
No, I'm speaking here. I was too broken last week. And I'm also dealing with community emergency organizing because we're in an emergency. A genocide is taking place. They've asked 1.1 million Palestinians out of 2.3 million Palestinians to evacuate in 24 hours. And they have closed the Egyptian border and they have them standing there and they're bombing buses and civilians. And
I have to stop you. I think what you're saying at this point is very publicly known, and I feel your pain. I am so sorry for the pain of the world and for the pain of the Palestinians, for the pain of everyone. And I do have to let other people speak as well.
Okay, let me ask you something. Why does the Ukrainian person who throws a rock or a Molotov cocktail, why are they a hero? And whenever a Palestinian does anything to defend themselves, they are a terrorist, Howard Cohen? Why? Why? 4 days after the Ukraine war started,
I really do
in
have
all
to
the
stop you.
newspapers, they have that they're refugees. My family have been refugees 75 years. Yemen, does anyone know about Yemen here? Do they care?
Yes.
The largest humanitarian disaster in the world.
Yes.
They're brown, they're Muslim, and they're poor, and the US supports funding. Yeah.
Yes.
The Saudis.
Anyway, I have to move on. I really appreciate you speaking.
Okay.
And
I would love to talk to you after this.
Okay. Why don't you?
I don't want to wait another 8 years.
Okay. Okay. Anyway.
There's no time for that. You're a leader. You can make changes.
All right. Thank you. Anyway, Noemi, please.
Thank you, Brenda. I thank you for remembering me. I feel a lot like I am not Palestinian, although I really relate. I wanted to point out I agree with every point you made. I
do,
also wanted to suggest last night it was on Netflix, and people who don't understand, I suggest a movie on Netflix, a documentary called Born in Gaza. It went all from children's perspective. All the people were children who were telling their lives. And it's the first time I ever saw what kind of condition they live in, because I have never been to Palestine, Israel. I have never been there, so I was shocked that of the horrible conditions they live with. There were miles and miles of bombed out houses, stores, whatever, just building after building. I don't know where, but I really appreciate what you're saying, Brenda. And I don't want to say, I don't want to, I feel for the Israelis that have been hurt. And it's really unfortunate how we don't see the bigger picture. And I agree very much with what it said. And I agree that it's a topic that we may need to talk about, and how to come off not, which is kind of ironic to talk about anti-Semitism about Jewish people, because isn't aren't Arabs Semitic also? And so I kind of don't understand why anti-Semitism only referred to Jewish people. At City College, there was, I'm involved with a disability, social justice and diversity module. And one of the classes we teach is about Arab and Jewish issues, and how they come together and how they feed up each other, and how anti-Arabism and anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish are so convoluted and come together. So I really think the first place we need to begin at the bigger sangha, at the bigger culture, is to be educated, and that we don't depend. I'm horrible. I don't watch mainstream news, and I was with my parents this weekend, and I was just shocked at CNN, MSNBC, and all the mainstream, how little context it talked about. There is no context in anything, and especially in the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. I don't call it conflict, I call it, there is an apartheid going, and it's really sad that, I don't know, we do onto others when we do have, it's perpetual. You know, the state of Israel came because of all the pain that Jewish people had just been through. So
It's
we need
complicated.
education.
Yes.
So thank you. I'm so happy you were here,
Are you still
Brenda.
here, Renda? Oh, you're still there. Good.
I'm really happy you were here. Thank you, thank you,
Thank you,
thank
Renda.
you.
Thanks,
And thank
Noemi.
you, thank you, Howie, for letting us talk.
Oh, of course. Roseanne is next. Rosanna Dana.
Well, I'm really glad that the voices came up, that your voice came up, and you got to speak, because I feel like what you said was really important. And it's easy to make platitudes about peace and unity and things like that. But when it comes down to the ground, the actual reality of injustice and the unfair fight, you know, of such a powerful military against this, against the people with practically nothing, and who are being starved. So I think we have to be real about what's happening. And I'm all for peace and people loving each other. And that's the ideal. And we should work for that. But we have to understand that the reality on the ground is very harsh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Madison, you had your hand up.
Thank you, Howie. Yeah, I just wanted to say, Brenda, I also appreciated hearing your voice, and I was surprised. I've had to tune it out because I have a minority viewpoint, which I guess would be closer to Brenda's viewpoint. And so I've just found no place to have a dialogue. And I think this is amazing that you open this up. I found for myself that the teacher for me in the history that where I go toward has been a lot of documentaries on KPFA, where I've sort of learned like what's been really happening for hundreds of years. And I just feel very helpless, powerless over the fact that so much of this stuff is political and economic. And that's why our media is slanted one particular way. And I don't know what the end result is, but I think it's really important. This is the first time I've heard in meditation, and I go to a lot of the Zoom classes, of people being able to bring up some alternative viewpoints. And I want to say that I really heard Brenda's pain, and I heard Noemi's pain, and you were saying we should, feel our own pain before we take actions. And I don't feel my pain. I've turned it off. I tuned off to almost the whole thing because I'm just stunned. But I think it's really important to hear these voices, and I'm very grateful that you provided a forum, Howie, and that people spoke up. So thank you.
Thank you, Madison. Thanks for your voice. We are at that time. Renda, I'm trying to figure out how to, if there's a way that you could email the Mission Dharma email with your contact information. I'd like to call you. Okay, so you don't have to put it on the Zoom call. Just email to mission sf.mission.dharma@gmail.
Okay, I'll take that. I just want to say, no one wants peace more than the Palestinians. Hamas does not represent the Palestinians.
We know
I
that.
am not part of any faction. I've been an activist for 30 years. I'm an individual.
Cool.
I'm from an Orthodox Christian family. I'm not Muslim. It doesn't matter. I was on a walk with one of my dear friends who's Jewish today. I have a lot of Jewish friends. Okay. She actually married a Palestinian and has 2 beautiful children. So please don't take my passion and my cultural differences, because my whole life I've had to hide and be ashamed of being Palestinian. Okay. In the 70s, the Iran-Contras, my mom was worried people were going to kidnap us. She told us not to speak Arabic, not to tell anyone where we're from. It's one thing after the other, you know. So please know, there are Palestinian peace movements that probably none of you know about because the media will never, ever write about it. There's so much. There's the Electronic Intifada. There, you probably know Middle East Children's Alliance. There's AROC, that used to be the ADCSF. There's lots of organizations, and JVP every day is doing a teach-in for 1 hour. And there's lots of other organizations that are Jewish queer, that are, you know, progressive, that are this, that are that are doing the work. Just like the Vietnam War, just like civil rights movement, we need people to do their part. We are tax-paying American citizens that are funding this and all of the other occupations and oppression across the world that the US has their hand in, which is plenty. Yeah, thank you. I'm sending a quick message. I'm sorry I didn't type it well. Yeah, thank you all. And I'm sorry I took away your piece and I didn't come in here in my meditative moment. Yeah.
It's the kind of, we call it the dukkha that leads to peace, the suffering that leads to peace.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
For some, I think you have to mute and like to invite everybody to just say good night and thanks for your practice and thanks for your generosity. Oh, wait, we have a half-day retreat Saturday in person at Fort Mason. Look at the email that came today. The bulletin has all the information.